Before you move to Lake Elsinore, let's talk numbers. I'm breaking down the cost of living in Lake Elsinore so you know exactly what to expect. And make sure you stick to the end of the video because I'm going to be breaking down the exciting residential developments coming to Lake Elsinore, including how many homes are approved and under construction and what the city's vision and future looks like. By the way, my name is Miguel Diaz with KW Lakes, and every week I help people just like you who are thinking about moving to or moving from Lake Elsinore. If you want to work together, my info will be on the description below. It ain't no secret that mortgage rates have pushed certain families out of homeownership reach, and rent is continuing to climb. How much do you really need to make to afford living in Lake Elsinore? So check this out. A new report from Zillow finds that renters nationwide now need to earn at least $80,000 annually to afford a modest apartment. And let's face it, that's far from the reality for many people. A household will need to make $100,000 a year comfortably to afford a rental of $2,500 a month. The average rent in Lake Elsinore is $2,643 per month, and that translates to an annual income of roughly $105,704. Affordability in Lake Elsinore is their hope on the horizon. As of January 1st, 2025, its population has officially surpassed 75,000 people, and this achievement positions Lake Elsinore as one of the most dynamic and fast-growing communities here in Southern California. The solution might be more homes, less competition, and better prices. In 2024, Lake Elsinore approved almost 1,500 units for construction. 1,010 of them were single-family homes, 331 were condo units, and 152 of them were apartments. If you were to guess what age group moved into these homes, what would you guys guess? Would you guess that the median age in Lake Elsinore is just 30 years old? The demographic here is pretty young. Households, there is 17,409, and the median single-family home price is $577,000, and the average household income here in Elsinore is $100,549. Right now, Lake Elsinore has 15 new neighborhoods in progress. Is affordability on its way? In 2025, Lake Elsinore has close to 30,000 units in development. We got 1,000 homes and communities. Check this out, 15 neighborhoods coming to Lake Elsinore. That is massive. That is a huge amount. No surprise why it's one of the fastest growing cities here in Southern California. If you were thinking about renting here in Lake Elsinore, can you still find something affordable? Everybody's definition of affordable might be different, but I want to show you what rentals here have been closing for. This is a list of all the rentals in the last 3 months that have closed, not the ones that are active, because I feel like active doesn't really show accurate data. If it's active and they still haven't found a renter and they're desperate, they might lower it. And I'm going to show you the 2 cheapest ones compared to the 2 most expensive ones. So this is the cheapest one. It's a 1 unit, 1 bath, 475 square feet. As you can see, very tiny, AC, and this is probably just for one person or a very small family if you don't care about space too much. This one got rented out for $1,495 a month. Here's another unit that went up for rent and it got leased for $1,650 a month. This is a 2-bedroom, 1.5 baths. It gets really hot here during the summertime. Today is going to be 98 degrees, so that pool is gonna come in handy for somebody. All right, now let's go back. I want to show you guys what the most expensive house closed for in Lake Elsinore, and looks like it closed for $4,500 a month. This is a 5-bedroom, 4-bath. Beautiful views of the city. Lake Elsinore is surrounded by mountains. There's a lot of homes on the peak of the mountain, just like this one, and you can see a view. That's not Lake Elsinore in the back, that's actually Canyon Lake. It's a private community, really nice area, and you get a nice view from this house. So this one closed for $4,500. Lot size is right under 11,000. And the second most expensive home closed for $3,800, 5 bedrooms, 2,824 square feet. It was built in 2024, so practically a new construction. So somebody probably decided, you know what, I'm gonna buy a new house, take advantage of the low interest rates promos that they have, and I'm just gonna rent it out. The house is brand new, $3,800 a month. They didn't really do anything. They probably just bought the house, took advantage of the low interest rates that the builder had. And as we see pictures of the inside, we're going to see that they just chose basic things. And this home lasted almost 3 months on the market, but they wanted $3,800 and they got $3,800. Okay, let's look at the average rent in Lake Elsinore by bedroom size. If you're looking for a 3-bedroom, looks like the average is right around $2,800 a month. A 4-bedroom, we're close to around $3,400 a month, and a 5-bedroom, the average is $3,600 a month. For $3,600 a month, you're actually very close to what a mortgage might be. If you're looking to buy a home, this is what your payment might look like. I got 3 scenarios I want to show you. If you buy a house at $550,000, you put the minimum down 3.5%, FHA, interest rates around, let's say you get a 6.5%. Property taxes, we're going with low taxes, 1.15, and then your homeowner's insurance, you're looking around $4,551 a month. If you want to buy a bigger house, $620,000. Again, 3.5%, interest rate 6.5%. Property taxes, we're gonna go with a little bit more higher, more average, 1.5%. You're looking at a monthly payment around $5,311 a month. And the last scenario, if you want a house at $650,000, but you got 20% to put down, that's around $130,000. Interest rate 6.5%. Property taxes, again, 1.5%. And your homeowner's insurance, you're looking around $4,289 a month. These are estimates of what your payments could look like. Interest rates fluctuate. They could be higher, they could be lower. Your credit score, your down payment, you might qualify for grants. New construction, I know a lot of areas here. There's 15 new neighborhoods. Out of those 15 new neighborhoods, there's a couple of them that are giving incentives for your interest rates. So even though your tax rate might be closer to 1.9%, that's gonna bring up your total cost up. But your interest rate, instead of that 6.5%, you could get it at 4.5% or 5.5%, depending on the promotion. As a local realtor here, I have a lot of builders that email me their promotions, and they don't always last. And I also get notified when they do discounts of new construction move-in ready homes, when they do price cuts. So if you want to buy a new home and you want to see what areas, what neighborhoods have the best promos available, I'm gonna have a link in the description below, so go ahead and click on that and fill out the questions. If you're renting because those monthly payments are too high, that's okay. Don't compare yourself to others. You're just in a different chapter in your life, and that's okay. Renting is cheaper, it's more affordable. And I'm pretty sure when I read those prices, you either had 2 reactions to it, right? The first one was either I can never afford a house, and the second one could be like, damn, that's a lot. What can I do personally to be able to afford that in the future? So if you think you could never afford a home, don't do that to yourself. Do not put those limiting beliefs in your head, because at the end of the day, the only limits we have are the ones we put on our heads. And this is why I believe owning a home in the future is a really good idea. These are the home prices nationwide since the 90s. In 2008, that's when the market crashed. Now, this video is not going to be a market update. I actually made another video, which I'm going to link at the end, where I talk about where the market is, where it might be heading, pretty much why it crashed in 2008. Because in 2008, home prices ended up falling, supply and demand, and then in 2012, that's when things started going back up. So we're right here, we're 9.9% above the trend line. The long-term trend is a 4% increase nationwide in housing. What's happening here in Lake Elsinore is different than what's happening in Scottsdale, Arizona. Real estate is very hyper-local. So everybody's situation is different. Now you have an idea of what rent and buying a home in the area might look like, as well as some cool demographics. If you want to buy a new construction home, there's going to be a link for that. As well as if you're just curious to know what your home might be worth, there's going to be a link where you can just click on that and it'll give you a super fast estimate to what your home might be worth in today's market. And that's it, guys. Remember, like, subscribe, share. Appreciate the love. Till next time.